Hello and welcome to another video tutorial. And in this video tutorial we are again going to utilize Kali Linux and some of the tools provided with it to create a dictionary files for a password cracking or password hacking and cracking. So first of all, we already started our Kali virtual machine, as you can see on my screen. I have opened one of the two tools that we're going to use. The first one is called Crunch and the second one is called Q. So starting with Crunch, the first thing and the best thing about Crunch is that you can use it both offline and online. It generates word lists according to your requirements. You can give the maximum and the minimum length of the password and also provide it with a character set which you can which you want to use while creating your dictionary. And then Crunch will create your dictionary while keeping your requirements at its priority. The dictionary will be created with all the possible combinations. So looking at Crunch, let me just give you some example. -h or -help. We have min, max, character set, pattern and path. So min for minimum, here you can specify the minimum length of characters you want. The max would be the maximum character number of characters you want. The character set, here you can specify characters you want to use while creating the dictionary. -t would be a pattern. This is optional and not necessary to use it, but here you can specify the pattern in which you want your characters to be set, and O for path, and this is to give you the output directory where the file will be saved. So a very basic example would be Crunch 3, 4, which will be my minimum of 3 and the maximum of 4 characters using ignite minus output, and this directory would be dictionary.txt. Now Crunch is generating it, and let me just read those files. Cat dic okay. As you can see, these are minimum of 3 and maximum of 4 characters using these characters. And let's see how many actually characters we have there, how many passwords. Or -l would also be the same. There are 750 lines or 750 passwords that we can attempt with this dictionary. And of course, since it's a text file, it's not that big at all. The other tool we can use is Q, and you can see we have the help here provided. So usually the command is Q URL -d for the depth and -w for the path. So Q works like something like a John the Ripper, and it's also written in Ruby. When targeting people of the corporate sector or the business world, this is a tool that you would like to use. As you probably know, it is in the human physic to use the words, the human psychic to use the words significant to them, and this will actually happen in the day-to-day life. So Q works on the URL you provided, and it will take the URL and look in a way to the depth of 2, for example, links by default, and it will search every word which has the possibility of being a password. So it needs a URL, the depth, and the path to create the file. Let me just try to give you an example. Q, let me see what would the command be. Let's try with, I don't know, youtube.com -depth 1 and output dict.txt. Let me see, dict.txt. Maybe if I increase the depth. Okay, maybe we can use a different URL that we can use for getting password. For example, let's try with one second. Steps 2 and minus W Q dict.txt. Couldn't hit the site, so it failed to find the site. Let me think of another site. What about, what will happen if we just use, for example, Google? From Google, these are the results we have. This is what it found as a possible password to be used and created a dictionary with it. So imagine if you give it a forum, for example, or a website where there are a lot of registrations and things like that. What actual list of passwords the tool can create, and what options you have, and what will be the size of the actual dictionary. Another tool we can discuss again would be, for example, cup. That's actually in a Git repository. So to get it, you need to use git clone. And let me just get the correct. Okay, git clone, it should be https github.com mebus-cup.git. https github.com. Let me see if I can verify that repository. We're going to use Firefox and look for it. Actually, I already found it. Git clone. That's the one we're looking for. Okay, we're gonna clone it. Okay. Git clone. Copy that. Come on. Okay, let me just download it as a zip file. Where is that? In downloads. So okay. If you use the command cup.py, it's just going to give you the help menu, and actually it needs again a let me just give you some information about it. Cup is developed in Python, makes very personalized tool when it comes to a password cracking. It studies the studies show that while setting up the password, people usually use similar patterns, such as they tend to make a password personal and adding date of birth and things like that, anniversary dates, pet's name, and so on. So CUP focuses on this weakness, and it helps to crack passwords effectively. Before creating a word list, it will ask you the required information about your target, and will create the word list as per the information. So let's just do CUP, okay, CUP -I for interactive, and it's going to ask me for some information, like for example at the moment it's asking me for a first name, so my first name is Peter, my surname is Yankov, I don't have a nickname, let's just say that's a nickname I might use. My date of birth is, let's say, 12th of, was that day, month, okay, 12th of May 1980. Partner name, I'm gonna skip that. Child name, let's say I have a child named John. Yeah, call it Johnny. It was born on the 6th 2000. Best name, skip that. Company name, skip that. Do you want to add some keywords about the victim? The default is no, so we're just gonna hit enter. Any special characters, yeah, let's just add some special characters. Do you want some random numbers? No. Lead model, for example, keep it the default. So it creates a dictionary with my name. It has 13,000 words in it, and let's just read it out and see what's in it. It has dates, characters, of course, some combinations of the nickname of my supposed child with additional characters. It adds some dates in front of it, and afterwards it basically generates a lot of, check it out, it gets my surname with some dates again. It's pretty useful, and it created a lot of possible passwords that can be used. So it's also a good tool that you can use, and it's a little bit more personalized, as I said earlier, and it will give you, if you have more information about your target, like for example using social engineering techniques to gather more information, as well as date of birth, as we saw, and parents' name, kid's name, all these details. And if you want to add additional words, if you know that this target uses, for example, somehow if you find out that the target uses some of the special characters or some numbers, you can add all of this information. The tool will just generate these passwords for you, and it will be pretty personalized and pretty targeted attack. So keep that tool in mind when you're trying to generate password lists. You can download it from GitHub, as you can see here. This is the repository. It's pretty simple, just git clone it, and you have it working. You don't need to install it, as you can see. The installation, the actual folder is just an executable Python file, which we can of course read. It has some information about the license, the author, and everything like that. That's pretty much it. So of course there is a README, and I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, just hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. I hope you learned something new today. Goodbye.